Let's start the session, right? So I think since there are like term tests and all these things, there will be less amount of people who are participating today, right? Let's see. I have opened the recording session, so the people who have not participated with us can have their recording, right? Okay, so. Last time we were like discussing the HTML, right? And we have discussed some for the elements and the attributes when we are like creating an HTML. And just to recap, let's go through the things we have done quickly, right? Let me take the textbook. And I'm sharing the screen now. Yeah. So yes, what we have done is regarding the HTML. We get to know about we need a text editor to do the HTML coding part. So you can use any text editor like Notepad, like MS Word, right? So all we have to do is we have to save that particular web page, or like the source code, the code that we have typed with the extension .html, right? So once we save it with the .html, we are given the ability to open it through the browser, like Chrome, Internet Explorer, likewise, right? So the regarding the basic structure we talked about, an HTML is having a couple of tags which calls the HTML. So starting tag and the ending tag, which is with the /. So in between, we are going to mainly separate the web page into two sections, which is called the head section and the body section. So head section is taking care of the title part of the browser. Now, if I take a browser in front of you, so title part will maintain about this particular area, and the body part is the major area that we are dealing with, or like the contents will be there in the body section, right? And later we talked about the tags inside the HTML, which can be used to build up a web page, right? And so we were starting from the H tag, as I remember, right? So header tags were used to display the bigger fonts, right? So it is there from H1 to H6, and font tag we discuss with some attributes. So font tag is to deal with the text on our web page. On our web page, and we discussed there are like 3 attributes. Now, attributes in the sense are the things which describe the elements, right? So font element is described by these attributes. So we learned about there are many more attributes, but we learn about three major attributes inside the font, which is called the size, face, and the color, right? So size is defining what's the size of the font, and face is defining what is the type of the font, which kind of letters that we are going to use, and the color is defining what's the color is going to be there with the font. And when it comes to the colors, we talked about we can use the color name, or else we can use the hash code like like it is shown in here, right? So we are able to define the color using just the color name or using the hash code, right? So like hash code, in other words, a hex code, hexadecimal code. Right, and I think I haven't talked about these center tags and the other simple tags with you people, right? Okay, can you confirm me whether you are okay with the stuff that we have discussed so far? Just confirm me through the chat. Right, okay. Right, so today we are going to learn about these things, right? Which we call the which we call the which we are going to use to do the bold, to give the italic formatting, underline, emphasis, strikeout, superscript and subscript, right? So we are going to see how it happens, right? So let me take a notepad. And yeah, I'm going to call and HTML. I'm going to put the head, but I have no plan to put anything inside the head for the moment. And what we are dealing with is the body. Yeah, so seriously, Nalindi, so we are about to start the tables. Oh my God. How about other two? Can you confirm whether we have done that? Because as I remember, we went. Okay, so that's nice. If you could start the tables as well, but yes, we have gone through those places. Yes, my dear, that's correct. Thank you for reminding me, Lalindi. So I was like having my starting point as the bold faces place. Right. Okay. So let me recap the things as well, since we are missing 1 week. Right. So. All right, so we discuss about these tags then, like bold is for bolding, italic is I is for italicizing, and U is for underlining. Emphasis will give you the very same effect as bold, and S for strike out, like you can draw a line at the middle of a letter or a word or a phrase, right? And sub is to superscript, sub is to subscript, and marquee is to give any word to a moving nature, right? යාව එක තැනක ඉඳලා තව තැනකට move කරන්න අපිට පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන් marquee කියන tool එක. So these are the examples that they were talking about, and then we had the image tag, which is called the img tag, right? So that img tag is having the major attribute called SRC, which set the place where you are going to refer your image. So SRC stands for source. So SRC is equals to, you have to give the image name. Right. Spirit Mama. So SRC can be used to define where the picture is. So if you are having your image and the HTML page at the very same place, you are going to use it only the picture name. But if it is on some other location, like it shows here, you have to give the entire path to that particular image. And be sure when you are giving the path, at the end, at the very end of your path, there should be your image name. Don't forget that. So like until here, you have to say where the image is. Then after put slash, then you have to say what's the image is. And when you are giving the image name, remember to give it with the name and as well as its extension. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And alternative text or ALT is given to show some text when that image is not being loaded into your web page, right? So in some case, like if your picture is corrupted, or when you are you have given the picture name in an incorrect manner, on those scenarios, web page won't get in the web page is not getting the image onto your web page is not getting the image. So on that case, you can show an alternative text to indicate this particular image or this type of a image is going to be here. So it is not indicating for some reason. So the developer or the coder can have a better idea. For some reason, it's not getting loaded, right? And width and height is there to control the width and height of the image, because image can have its natural width and height if we are not specifying this. So it can be like something very larger than the web page, or something smaller than that you expected. So we can change the width and height using these type of things, right? Yes, and the border and the align is there to indicate the border around the picture. So you can increase the thickness of the border by increasing the value which is given with the border. So border equal, if you gave 1, there will be a thinner border. If you increase it, you are going to have a thicker border, right? And the align. So like when it comes to the align, sometimes it didn't work, right? So you have seen what other places it did not work specifically with the middle or the centering part. So instead of that, they have introduced us the center tag to do the centering things for some particular tags, right? Okay, and the paragraph is indicated by P, and line breaking can be indicated by BR tag, right, which are the simpler stuff. And again, paragraph is having the alignments like left, right, center, and justify. So you know what are the meaning of those. So we are going to use it inside the P tag, the starting P tag. Then after that particular paragraph is going to get the effect of the alignment using these values, right? And keeping the spaces in between words are done with this this particular code, which is called %NBSP, right? So this will make you a 1 space, and if you need more space between words, you have to use NBSPs together. So like we have used it in this particular place, right? So by these three NBSPs, you can have three spaces in between the is word and the word, right? Which happens somewhere here, right? Okay, and inserting some rows, we got to know about like inserting some rows means the break in rows thing. So like in a paragraph, if you need to break the things, like you are doing it on a Word document, pressing the enter to do it, to give the same appearance of that line breaking effect onto a web page, we are going to use a BR tag. So BR tag is a single tag which does not have an any tag. So wherever you are going to use a BR, it's going to break the line from that point, right? Yeah, and according to the lists, we have discussed about three types of list, which is the ordered list, unordered list, and the definition list, right? And yeah, so like just to confirm, did we talk about the list as well? We didn't, neither. Right. So we are going to start it from the list. Yes. So I think until the break tag is done, we have done that. Okay, so let's start it from with the list. So in your in the web pages, you can find three different types of lists, which are called the ordered list, unordered list, and the definition list. Right now, I'm going to show you the things. It is there in your textbook as well. So ordered list is going to be something like this, which is going to appear with a letter or a number, right? Like 1, 2, 3, or ABC, or in Roman numbers 1, 2, 3, something like that. And unordered list is going to be something like this. It is in the which appears in the green square, right? It's going to have some symbol, and some list items will be there. And the definition list is something like this. So like you are having the definition title and you are having the definition description. So like it doesn't give any specific bullet or an icon or a number, but title and the description is distinguished or like separated by this tab space, right? So the definition list is something like this. Then you can have the you are having the idea about the definitions. Like when you comes to the science subject, we always write some definitions regarding some things. So you put a title and you have some tab space and write the description of it. So in the same way, definition list is going to be something like this, right? Okay, so let's see how we are going to do that. So first I'm going to talk about unordered list. So right, so I'm having my structure here and I'm going to save this on my desktop by saying test.html, right? Okay, so I'm going to put an unordered list inside the body tag. So to have the unordered list, it's the UL tag that we are using, right? So unordered list is in the short form, we can say it UL. So just by if I'm just having these two tags, I won't be seeing any output on my web page, right? Let's open the web page. So here's mine. Yeah. So as you can see, test.html is loaded to this particular browser, but there is nothing inside it. So inside the unordered list, we need list items to appear something on the web page. So to have the list item, there is a separate tag called li, which is a couple tag. So it's going to have another indent tag as well, right? So in between li tags, if I say some word, so then it's going to appear on this particular place. As you can see, the apple word is appearing with a bullet. So likewise, if you need to appear many list items, so what you have to do, you have to copy and paste, or like you should have many more li couples to appear your word inside it, right? So I'm going to change this into some fruits. Right, so once I save this and when I refresh it, I will be able to see this particular list. So it is with the dot and let me increase the fonts for you, right? To do that, I'm going to use the font tag. Yeah, I'm refreshing it. So what I have done is I have increased my font size to get it much clearer output for you people, right? Okay, so and there is no rule that you need to write the unordered list with the font tags, huh? So I'm just doing it to increase my font sizes. So will show you the unordered list. So if you are not very much like with this bullet, you can change that bullet type, right? So to do that, you need to use the type attribute inside the unordered UL opening tag. So there you can say equal. If you say square and your bullets are going to change into a square type, right? And other than the square, you are going to have, you can have another value for this, which is called the circle. And if you save it and refresh it, you are going to have circles inside it, which are not being painted. Painted the circle, it's just a circle, not the disk type. So what we had before, which is the default value, is called the disk, right? So when we change the disk and refresh it, you're going to have the very first appearance inside it. So regarding the UL tag, what you need to remember, excuse me, you should have UL couple to define this is going to be an unordered list, and then you need to have li couples for each and every list item inside your list. And if you need to change the type of the bullet or the icon of this particular list, you need to use the attribute called type, and with the equal sign you have to define what's the type that you are going to use. And disk is going to be the default type, which we really have no need to define it. But if you're going to use a square or a circle, then you have to define it like this. So then you will be able to see it with the squares. Right, people, is it clear for you? Just give me a confirmation. All right, great. Geetaka, how about you? Is it clear? Yeah, great. Okay, so Moving forward to the unordered list, to the ordered list. So it is very little changes that we need to do, right? And I'm copy and pasting the very same code. And the only difference I need to make is converting UL into OL to indicate the ordered list, right? So, sorry. So I'm having OL open tag and OL close tag to define this is an ordered list. And for the moment, I'm going to get rid of this type attribute. So the very same list item, I can take it as an ordered list. So yeah, you can see the unordered list at the top, and the ordered list will be appeared once I refresh this. So I'm saving it, I'm refreshing it. Yeah. So this is the ordered list that you can take. So by default, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 as the icon or like the number inside your ordered list. And again, if you need to change the number type, there are many different ways or like the many different number types that you can give. So I'm going to use the type attribute, and I'm going to say simple I. So see what happens once I save this. So it's become converted into the Roman numbers, the simple Roman numbers, the 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I use the capital I, it's going to give you the capital Roman numbers. Right, so it is there with the capital Roman numbers. Just a second, I need to adjust this. Okay. And if you use capital A, and it's going to start from, or like the, it's going to appear like capital A, B, C, Ds. So it is another way that we are going to choose this. Okay. Just give me a second, people. I need to cut this. All right. So, so the capital ABCDs will be there, right? Yeah, I think the ABCDs are being hidden. It's because of the font size, right? So I'll reduce it a little bit more. Right, let me make it 7. No, did not. No, it's too much. All right, let's keep it like this. All right, so if I change this into simple A, it's going to change into simple ABCDs, right? So likewise, in ordered list, there is not much difference from the unordered list. So what you have to do is you have to take OL couple, which is the OL starting tag and the OL ending tag, and in the very same way we are going to have list items in this nature. So li starting tag and li ending tag. So in between we are going to write what the item is. And using the type, you can change the appearance of the number in your ordered list. So you can change it to the Roman numbers, you can change it to the capital ABCs or simple ABCs, or else you can keep the very same numbers which is in the 1, 2, 3, 4 nature, right? So those are the way that you are going to have the ordered list on your web page. Right, people, is that clear? Can you give me a confirmation? Right, great. Right, so I'm moving into the definition list. All right, let's see how it differs from the ordered list and the unordered list. So when it comes to the definition list, so we should have DL tag to define it is a definition list. So like the ordered list and the unordered list, DL defines the definition list. And inside the definition list, there are two components. In the previous list, we just had only one component, which is called the list item. But here, it is just having two components, which is the title and the description, right? So to indicate the definition title, we are going to use the tag couple called DT, definition title. This defines what the title is. And then for the description, we are going to use DD, which defines the definition description, right? So definition title and definition descriptions are there. So when you are writing something in between the definition title, now let's say Singharaja, right? And in definition description, I'm going to write the rainforest in Sri Lanka, right? So if I save it and if I refresh my web page, see how it happens. So your definition title goes on this manner, and the content disappears like this. And if I duplicate this content to get the nature of a paragraph, right? Duplicate karo. Right. It's not going to break since we are not having a BR tag, right? But let me see. Yes. Yeah, what I need you to show is once the content is bigger, it's going to maintain its tab space in all the rows, right? Hama page kamara isarahin tiyena histana ya maintain karno, right? Okay, so like we use the definition description, so inside a one DL couple, right? I need to close it from here. It's a mistake of mine. So in between a DL starting tag and a DL ending tag, we can have many definition titles and many definition descriptions. So that doesn't matter, right? So here you can say let's say Sigiriya. An ancient city in Sri Lanka. So if I save this and if I refresh it, so Sinharaja definition is there, Sigiri definition is there. And if you need to have different types of definitions, so like that means under a one definition title, you can use many DDs as well. It's like if I paste it again and if I change the content, right, if I change the content into the yeah, let's just say ABCD, right, or we'll say it like this. Okay. Yes, Leon, that could be a printing mistake though. It should be closed. Let me check. Yes. That could be a mistake. It should be closed here. It must be closed, right? Okay, so right, so I'm having one DT, that is the definition title, and many DDs, right? 2 DDs. So I'm going to refresh this. See, so for each and every DD, definition description, you are going to have a new line. And under one DT, with one DT, you can use many DDs, or else you can use a separate DT and a separate DD. That means a separate title and a separate description inside a one definition list tag. So remember that, because those things can be tested easily, right? So in between a one definition list starting tag and one definition list ending tag, we will be able to use many different DTs and many different DDs. Right, so those are the list types that you can identify inside the web page, right? So you can create any one in any place you want according to your requirement, right? And regarding the ordered list and the unordered list, there is another thing that I need you to take your focus. You can create the list inside another list, right? Okay, to introduce it, I'm going to clear my code in from here, right? So I'm going to keep the unordered list, and I'm going to clear my this ordered list and definition list. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a list inside another list, so which we call the sublist, right? So there is a example in your textbook as well, so I'm going to do it in my example as well. So yeah, let me change it like this. I'm going to take the first list item as fruit, and I'm going to get rid of these things. So my first list item is going to be fruits, and I'm not going to end this fruit list item just after the fruit word. Instead of that, I'm not closing the list item, but I am starting an ordered list inside the fruit list item. So there I'm going to say Apple, oh sorry, inside the OL, I'm going to take a list item, and I'm going to say Apple, and I'm going to close that list item, and I'm going to have a copy and say mango, and I'm going to give a type to this equals simple I, right? Then I'm going to close my OL tag. So my ordered list is start from here and end from here, and it is inside a unordered list and under this list item. So this particular list item will get closed from this particular place. And I'm going to have another list item, which is going to be the list item of the unordered list. And I'm going to say veggies. Right, so here I'm saving it. Let's see how the output happens. Yeah, so as you can see, this unordered list is having the square type of bullet, so it is having square types. And inside the fruit, under the fruit list item, I have listed two ordered list items, which is apple and mango. So it goes like this. So remember, this is a very valuable point, an important point. So when you need a sublist inside, when you need to create a sublist, yeah, I think we are having a question. Let me see. No, Lalindi. I was just doing the indentation because it can be easily seen by you, right? It will be very much clear for you people. That's why I have done the indentation, right? Otherwise, there is no rule for you to do the indentation, but it clears the things, right? And so when you are having a sublist, be sure to create the sublist inside the particular list item and close that list item after the sublist, right? Now if you change, or like if you close your list item somewhere from here, still it's going to work for the new browsers, right? But remember, this is the standard way of writing it. So when you are answering to the in the examination, it's better you follow this rule. So you are going to have a big list, or like the outer list, and inside that you are going to create your sublist. So that is under a list item of the outer list or the big list, right? So that particular list item is closed from here, where after the sublist, right? People, did you got this? Do I need you to explain it again? Right, okay. How about others? Right, Himadi, thank you. Geetaka and Jinuki. Right, okay. All right, so that will sum up the things regarding the list inside the web page. So you can have three different kinds of list, which is the unordered list, ordered list, and definition lists, right? And you know how to deal with those things. Right. So in your examination, when you get that easy, right? You go with them, yeah? Let's go do your hack. Prepare my for text is okay. You can't. Okay. Let's go Right. So as your textbook shows, so you can see in this definition list, they have taken a single DL open, and this should be there should be a close in tag here. This is a printing mistake. And they are having two different definition titles, and there are different definition descriptions. So it will appears like one after the other, which is shown in your textbook as the output, right? Okay, so and again, there is another name for the definition list as description list as well. So you better remember both names, because in your examination they will ask either from definition list or from the description list. Still, everything is stand for DL, DT, and DD, right? Okay, so moving forward, we are going to have, okay, this is the sub list that we were talking about, right? And then we are moving to the hyperlinks. Now hyperlink, in other words, so what we can see on web pages, most of the things are related to the hyperlinks. Now as an example, if I get your attention to my website, right, which is the starlabs.lk, right? Now this particular website is having links. Now this home is going to be a link, and this GIT is acting as a link. Once I click it, one web page is appearing, right? And these particular things are also acting as hyperlinks. Once I click on the English note, it's going to open an English note regarding the GIT subject, right? So it's kind of linking the things, linking the pages, or linking the resources inside your web page, inside your website, right? In hyperlinks also can be used to have a link in between your website or one website to another website as well, right? එක website එකක ඉඳලා තව website එකකට connection එකක් හදන්නත් you can use a hyperlink, right? So hyperlinks will be help you to navigate through your website as well as navigate to a separate website. It's just the direction, right? Like once you directed to the other website, that particular website links will help you to navigate through that website, not the previous one, right? Okay, so likewise, so these are the links. Once I click those things, you can move to a different web pages on our website, right? So we are going to have the very same thing, test the very same thing in our web page as well, right? Let's see how we are going to do that. So to define an hyperlink, we are going to use a tag called A. So A is stand for anchor, right? And this is a couple tag. So A is having a closing tag as well, right? So like the other tags, just by having the A tags won't give you any differences or any changes to your web page. So I'm saving this. I'm saving my source code with only the anchor tags, and I'm refreshing it. Nothing appears because there is nothing to be shown, right? And in between A tags, if I say something, right? Let's say go to page 2. Go to page 2, right? So it is written in between. Yes, that is a unicorn. That's right. Go to mama. Right, so now I'm saving the web page or like the HTML code, and I'm refreshing it. See, so you can have something called go to page 2, and still it is not clickable. May have a click කරන්න පුළුවන් නම් mouse point එක අතක් විදියට change වෙනවා නේද? දැන් කලින් මම ඔයගලන්ට links පෙන්නපු තැන. Right, now these are my links. Right, මෙතනට ගියාම cursor එක අතක් විදියට මාරු වෙනවා. So that indicates these are clickable, right? But here it is not clickable. Yeah, click වෙන්නේ නිකන් select way on, right? So to make it a hyperlink, we have to say once this is being clicked, once the text in between anchor tag is clicked, to which target that we are moving, right? Okay, you have a stay there, right? So we have to specify the target. So to specify the target or the reference, we use an attribute called href, which stands for hyper reference. So inside that, put in an equal sign, and in between the double quotes, we have to specify what's the resource, or like what's the reference that we are going to contact with. Sudmanika, Amigaවට යන්න පුතේ තාත්තා යන්නට. You want resource? Okay. Right. පොඩි එක්කෙනා ඉන්න නිසා එහෙන් පොඩ්ඩක් සද්දෙයි කට්ටිය මාත් එක්ක concentrate කරගෙන ඉන්න. Take it to your mom. Go and give it to your mom. Jump over. Be careful. Jump over. Right now, in between the hyperreference, I'm going to give you something like this. Now, I told you this can be used to navigate through the web pages and navigate from one particular website to another particular website. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my website through this, right? Let me take the address of my website, and I'm going to use it right over here, right? So once I'm pasting it, pasted in a different manner, it has some http:// that is a must, right? ඒක නැති වුණොත් එයා website එක හොයාගන්නේ, and I think this will be needed with the www thing as well. Let's see අපි මෙහෙම යන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා. And I'm going to change this name. I'm going to say Star Labs. Right. So now in my source code, what we are having here is we have opened the anchor tag, and in between those anchor tag we have written go to Star Labs, and the hyperreference is given as that particular website's address. And I'm saving this and I'm refreshing it. So now it becomes a clickable one. පේනවද මගේ mouse pointer එක move කරනකොට එයා අතක් විදියට වෙනස් වෙනවා. I'm going to close this, close my website from here. So we are having just one single tab in my browser. So now I'm going to press my hyperlink. Here I'm pressing it. Okay, so it connected with my website, right? So we were just coming from the place which we have created. So once we click it, it get connected with my website. So likewise, you can move from one particular website to another particular website using the hyperlinks. Okay, people, is it clear for you? Right, great. Okay, Juniki, how about you? And Himandi, is it clear with you? Yes, just give me a right. Okay, all right. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to move inside our particular website. අපේ website එකේ කොහොමද අපි එහෙට මෙහෙට යන්නේ කියන එක. So to do that, I need two different web pages. නැත්නම් මට එකක ඉඳලා තව එකකට move වෙන්න බෑනේ. Right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this particular web page, which is called the test.html, as a one web page, and I'm going to create another web page, right? So I need a new notepad, and I'm going to copy the things from my previous web page. So this is my first web page, and this is going to be my second web page. Oh no. Right. So in my second web page, I'm going to get rid of this anchor tag, and I'm just going to say welcome to page 2. Right. So I'm going to change. I'm not going to change this. I'm going to add a different anchor tag by saying I'm going to change this href part only. I'm saying page2.html, right? And I'm going to change the content. Go to page 2, right? And I'm going to save this, my new notepad. I haven't saved it yet, so I'm going to save it as page2.html, and I'm going to change this into all files, right? So page2.html is given, and I'm going to save it. Right, so this is my page2.html. This is my test.html, right? Can't I move this? Okay, so just a second. Yeah, so my test.html is there, and the page2.html is right over here. So if you look at my desktop, my test.html is right here, and page2.html is right here. So both are on the same location, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to execute the test.html, and I think I haven't saved the first notepad. Let me save it first. Yeah, I haven't saved this, so I have saved it, and yeah, yes. So here I'm having my web page. It is having go to Star Labs and go to page 2. And why these two are on one single line? I made the line එකක තියෙන්නේ. Can anyone comment? Why those two are then in my source code, those are in two different lines, but in my output it is just seen as a one single line. Yes, darling, that's right, because I haven't used a br tag in between. Yes, that's great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a br tag at the beginning, so it will break the tag, break the line before the other link is going to have. So I'm saving it, and I'm going to refresh it. Yeah, there you go. So we are having two separate links, and this particular go to Starlab link will move us to the starlabs.lk, the website, and see what happens when I press the go to page 2. I'm pressing it, so it moves. Welcome to page 2. This is the page2.html. You can see the address. See, it's the page2.html. So when we are moving inside a web page, website, what we have to do is we have to define this particular web page name to direct you from a one place or from a one web page to the other web page, right? So you can use the values as the page name to move from one web page to another web page, as a website name to move from one website to the other website. Right, so those are the things regarding the anchor tag. Is it clear, people? Yes, we are having a question. Yes, Jiniki, is hyperlink? Yes, my dear. Yes, that's a good question. The nature of the hyperlink, is always underlined because we haven't used any U tags for that. But when we are using anchor tag, it will always be there as an underlined one. And there are ways that you can take that underline away from your hyperlink, which is like like the advanced things which we are doing in the web page developing. But generally, when we are using an anchor tag, we get the things with the underline, right? Okay, so that is how the anchor tag is working, right? So I think it is much clearer for you. So in your textbook example, they have used this this particular place to indicate the anchor tag. So it's a tag is used, href is used, and they have used what the president.gov.lk website, and there is something called the president word in between anchor tag. So like when it comes to the output, they haven't indicated clearly this particular president word is indicating as a clickable one. So once you click it, you will be able to move to the president dot this particular web page, right? So I think you are having a clear idea regarding the anchor tag, right? Let me have the confirmation. Is it clear, people, with the hyperlinks? So there are two ways that you need to get cleared. Right, great. Okay, so moving forward, we are going to talk about the way of inserting the table, right? So now when you are going to insert a table into a web page, you should be very careful because there is a way of inserting a table into a website, right? So let's first get to know about the nature, then we will be able to see what it is, right? So to illustrate it, I'm going to take you, yeah, let me take my pen so I can illustrate it to you. Right, so when you are inserting a table into your web page, the very first thing that you need to remember is your table is going to create a row after row, right? Row එකෙන් row එක තමයි හැදෙන්නේ. So first you have to insert a row, then you have to create the data inside it, right? Like this. So if you need another row, you are going to insert another row, then you are going to create data inside it. So when you are creating similar amount of data, it's going to appear like a table, right? So what you are going to do, this is the row, that is the first thing that you need to add, and this particular thing is the data, that is the next thing that you can add, right? And the data can be two type of things. This can be a header or just the data, right? So I'll change this into the content, so that will be much clearer for you. So the content inside a cell can be two different things, which can be a header and which can be just a data, right? So the way we are creating this is to indicate, or like to introduce the HTML, a table, we need a tag called table, right? So the table tag will indicate to the web page, okay, there will be a table. And just by having these two will not create a table inside the web page. So to create it, you need to create what? Row first. So row is indicated by TR, which stands for table row, right? So TR, and there will be another TR. Hold on. And there will be ending TR as well. So it's a couple. So it defines the starting point of the TR and the ending point of the TR. So inside those TR, to have the content, right? To have this content, we can use two types of tags, right? Which is called TD. It stands for table data, and it is going to have a closing tag as well. So when you are writing something in between this TD, it's going to appear in here. So now, if I going to say ABC here, so ABC is going to appear in this cell, right? So likewise, since you are having three types of, or like three data inside your row, you should have three separate TDs in between TR, right? Since I'm limited with the room, I'm just writing it. So it should be in between TR. So three TDs will be there. So if you say PQR and 1, 2, 3, so this is going to have PQR and this is going to have 1, 2, and 3. Right? So to have the next row, what you are going to do is, after this TR, you are going to take another TR. Because I told you, you are going to create your table row by row. So it is going to have a separate TR. Right? So likewise, then after you are going to use another 3 TDs inside a row to create these cells. And if you use TH instead of TD, TH is stand for table header, right? So with the TH, if I say, let's say XYZ, and I'm closing the TH from here, so it's going to be my very first cell filled with XYZ. But remember, when XYZ is filled, since it is indicated as a TH, table header එකක් කියලා indicate කරලා තියෙන නිසා, it's going to be bolded and center aligned. අකුරු bold වෙලා center align වෙලා තමයි cell එකේ print වෙන්නේ. Right? So you have to remember that. So how we are going to add the things to a table? First, we are going to use the table tag, right? So table tag is going to have an ending tag as well, which I cleared it because I don't have much room inside, right? Right, then we add a table row because we need to add the row. Then we are adding either TDs or THs. There is no rule that you can use TH only in the first row. You can use TH in anywhere you want. Even if you need to make this 1, 2, 3 a TH, you can simply clear your TD and you can use a TH. And it's going to be a center align bolded 1, 2, 3 if you change this TD into the TH. Right? So at a කැමති තැනක TH පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්, කැමති තැනක TD පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්, but you should be careful. In the examination, you are given an output of a web page, then you are asked to write your code according to that output. Majorly, it's not going to write the entire code. In most of the cases, you are given to fill the blanks of the code. So be careful. You have to write your code according to the output then. Right? Output එක දිහා බලාගෙන තමයි ඔයා code එකේ හිස්තැන් ටික පුරවන්න ඕනේ. එතනදී you have to be careful where they have used the th and where they have used the tds. So you have to fill it accordingly. Right, people, is this concept is clear with you? Me kiyapu de clear do ඔයගලන්ට. Then we can go for the coding. Right. Okay, so how about other two? Geetaka, Himandi. Right, okay. All right, so we are moving to code the things that we have discussed. Right, so let's get rid of this page 2. Let's have in our test page, and let's have this. Right, so I'm going to keep the font size 5 because I need a better appearance. I'm going to get rid of these anchor tags. Okay, so I'm going to create a table. So I'm going to take the table tags. Right, so in between table tags, first I need to create a row. So I'm creating the tr tags. So this is going to be my first row, and I'm going to create a table which has 2 columns and 2 rows, right? So to create 2 columns, that means if you consider a 2 column 2 row table, first row, okay, you should have 2 data, and in the second row again you need to have 2 data, right? So the first TD I'm using inside this saying fruits. So my TD is closed. The second TD I'm going to use I'm going to tell it as vegetables, right? So I'm saving it. So for the moment I'm having a table tag and 1 tr couple and 2 td couples, right? So I'm going to refresh this. Here it comes. Now only fruits and vegetables is there, no appearance of tables. So remember, when you are having just the table tag, the borders of the table are not displayed by default, right? Hetuva thamai, the table structure is always it's frequently used to cluster your web page. Web page එක කෑලි වලට කඩා ගන්න tables අපි පාවිච්චි කරනවා. So එහෙම කෑලි වලට කඩා ගත්තම borders පේන එක ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට අනවශ්‍යයි. ඒක නිසා by default they have said no borders when just using the table tag. So if we need the border inside the table tag, the starting tag, we have to take a attribute called border and we have to equal it to some number. So I'm going to say 1. So I'm saving this and I'm refreshing it. So now you can see the borders. So as I told you in my examples, see the borders are happening on the same way we discuss. Row එක හැදෙනවා, cell එකෙන් cell එක හැදෙනවා. That is how they have created the borders. So if I need the second row, I need a second row as well. So I'm going to take the second row here, right? So I'm going to write apple and beans in here, right? So my second TR, this is my second TR, that means the second row. So inside that I'm having 3 TDs as well, right? So I'm saving this and I'm refreshing it. So I'm having apple and beans inside my table as well. And what you can focus is, or like identify is, all my table data are left aligned. Can you see that? It is left aligned. And yeah, if I change this fruits TD into TH කරොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ කියලා අපි බලමු. And before that, I'm going to change this apple into pineapple because I need some bigger, like the lengthier word to show you the fruit will get bolded and center aligned, right? So now TH, only the fruit word is inside the TH tags. Vegetable is inside the TD, no changes, and this become pineapple to have a lengthier word, right? I'm going to save it, and here I'm refreshing it. Yeah, as you can see, so now the fruits is center aligned and bolded, right? And if I change these beans and pumpkins, right? If I save it and refresh it, see? So vegetables is not a TH, so it is working as a normal TD, so it is left aligned and no bolded thing has happened. Now if I change this TD into TH, and I'm saving it, now my vegetable is going to have the very same effect as the fruits was having, right? So I'm refreshing it. See, the vegetable becomes the center aligned and bold faced, right? So likewise, you can use TH in anywhere you want, right? So if you need to make pineapple a bolded center line one, so you can use TH right over there as well. Right, see, the pineapple become bolded, but center alignment is not very much clear because the cell is set in the way according to its content, right? Okay, people, is this clear? Right, great. So you know how to deal with the TH and the TDs and the TRs in your table, and we got to know there should be a border attribute should be given some value, otherwise you won't be able to see the borders in your table. And now I'm going to introduce you one new tag which is called the caption. This should be used just after the table tag, right? Because caption of your table is going to appear at the top of the table, right? And caption tag is a couple tag, right? So whatever you are going to write in between the caption is going to be the header of your table, right? So let's say what foods as the caption. So I'm going to save it and I'm refreshing it. See, so it is already center aligned according to the table. Table එකේ center එකට අරගෙන එන්නේ. Now if I change this to food types, and still it's going to appear as the center align of the table and working as a caption, right? Let's see whether this is going to work when we change the place. I'm going to put it in between these TRs. එක TR එකකට පස්සේ මම caption එක දීලා තියෙනවා. So I'm saving it and I'm refreshing it. Yeah, still it works, but remember it is because of the advancement of the browsers. But remember, when you are writing it on the examination, make sure you are going to have this caption just after the table tag right over here. right? මොකද table එක උඩින්ම තමයිනේ අපිට caption එක තියෙන්නේ, so it's better we write it on that way. It is the way that the syllabus is practicing, right? So you can have caption to add a caption to your table, right? Right, and those are the basic elements regarding your table tag, and there are many more things or many more attributes used in the table tag, right? As you can see it on your page number 154, these are the tags that we can use, which call the align, width, height, VG color, border colors, and all these things, right? So we are going to test these elements, or like the attributes, by the next class. Today I need to exit the class just before 4-5 minutes, because I have to attend another class in the Boralda. So I have to leave now, right? So I'm ending the class by this point. So let's discuss the rest of the attributes by next week, and hopefully we can finish up the lesson by next week as well, because once we're done with the table, we are done with the tags, right? So then only the theory part will be there, and the CMS and the tool which can be used to create web pages, which we have to discuss. So let's discuss those things by next week. So today I'm going to end up the session by this point, right? So thank you very much. I hope you have got a clear idea about creating the table, basically, right? So we are going to meet the next week on the very same time, right? Okay, people, thank you very much. Have a nice weekend. All right, thank you very much, people. Thank you, Himandi, and thank you, Lilandi. Thank you, Geetaka. Right, okay.